Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 2 of the For-Profit Blogging Videocast. Probably the best low-rent videocast I'm getting plugged together. I'm Joe Saul-Sehy from Stacking Benjamins and For-Profit Blogging. And with me, as always, I say as always, Kathleen, it's only our second time, is Kathleen Selmans from For-Profit Blogging and Stacking Benjamins and Frugal Portland and the Free Financial Advisor.
Hi.
Welcome back. Week 2. Who thought we'd make it this far?
They said we wouldn't make it.
So let's jump right into this, because our goal is to help people with their blogs as quickly as possible, not to make this a long video. But today we're talking about theme parks, because what's funny is that when you and I started working together, it was because Stacking Benjamins had some issues. So why don't you talk about those for a second?
Oh, Stacking Benjamins is a wonderful podcast that had a blog that wasn't quite cohesive. So when I came on board, I immediately wanted to change all of the things and combine the idea of Joe's Mom's Basement and have that translate over to the blog as well.
Yeah, we really needed a theme to do that, and to make that work was going to be more than just big post or small posts, because I think a lot of bloggers, Kathleen, you get hung up. I certainly got hung up. Derek Halpern over at Social Triggers tells people to write these big, huge, epic posts, and I just don't think that way. But also it wasn't working that I had all small posts that were 500 or 600 words, and that clearly wasn't generating any traffic either.
Right, and you can get really caught up in word count, and then, I mean, nobody comes to blogs counting words. They want to read stories.
That's a great point. Yeah, and the story is the main part. Just like on the podcast, you think about it, on the podcast, it really is. It's about the basement and stuff going on in the basement, right? And the blog didn't share that. And frankly, still, the blog doesn't share that as much as we want it to in the future. We're still kind of headed that way.
Yeah, we're still headed that way.
So I went to Disney, and I had this huge inspiration that maybe it's not about big posts or small posts. It is about the rides, and it is about the atmosphere. Because, of course, Kathleen, you go to Disney and you can't get away from the atmosphere. You take 2 bags of money, right? And then you engross yourself in this atmosphere, and everything, whether you're a guest at Disney and you know this or not, everything behind every attraction has this story, and it's all cohesive. So we thought that really the analogy for what we make Stacking Benjamins, we wanted to talk about this early on. The analogy should probably be a theme park. So we started off with this idea of rides. So explain to everybody what your basic ride is. So
the ride is what you come to the resort to do, or what you think you're coming to do. So you come and you think you're coming for the roller coasters, and you get in line for the roller coaster, you ride the roller coaster, and then you get on with your day. Those are blog posts.
And that's your basic 600, 700, 800 word blog post that you get done and you're like, yeah, that was cool. But it's not the type of thing that is it's not a monster thing that you're going to remember the rest of your life. It's your bread and butter, right?
Right.
Yeah. And then now the thing about rides, if you think about it as a ride, which I really like that analogy, you think about a couple things. Number one, the ride's got to be really good or nobody's going to talk about it. That's
true.
And then number 2 is that I've never seen a blogger who's around for any long period of time. There's bloggers out there that don't want to talk monetization. It's fine not to talk monetization, but until you realize that, I can't think of a blogger that didn't somehow monetize their blog that didn't stay around for. I mean, without any monetization, it's difficult to stay in business.
Yeah, right. So a lot of times bloggers turn out with a skeezy approach to monetization. If you don't want to talk about it, but you still have to do it because otherwise it's just a very poorly paying hobby, then sometimes it comes across as skeezy. But I like the idea of the Disney model that says, look, we all have to make money somehow. If you enjoyed that ride, why don't you take a look through our gift shop?
Right. No, I mean, I don't want to mix metaphors too much, but I'm wearing a concert t-shirt today. Kathleen Edwards, one of my favorite singers. Listen to her stuff. She's awesome. Kathleen she's got a great name, right?
Definitely.
But Kathleen, if her concert stank, I would have never stank. I never would have wanted the T-shirt anyway. So the T-shirt comes after the ride being good, and I like it. The second thing, but the key is there has to be some stuff that wows people. When you go to Disney, what they do different than the regional theme parks is you have fireworks every night, and 3 times a day, the park practically shuts down because there's this big giant parade, right? And everybody's along the parade route and they watch. So the difference between fireworks and a parade, they're both these big, huge things that happen on your blog, is a firework is one of these big epic posts you put together that is just, 57 best ways to do X, or the definitive guide to Y. Those are big things that you pretty much shut down the theme park for. The other type, though, the parade is great because in a parade, you get a bunch of other bloggers help. And there's some people that spend all their time worried, Kathleen, about what other bloggers think. And then there's other people that spend no time at all thinking about what other bloggers think. And realistically, all these people have megaphones and they have cool stuff to say. Why not have them say it in your theme park?
Why not? Right. Well, I think we fall under the camp of thinking a lot about other bloggers. We want to, especially here on For Profit Blogging, we want to highlight the success of other bloggers and learn from everybody who has come before us.
Right. Right. Because as we said in video 1, we are not experts. We're just sharing with you what we're thinking in the trenches. And the thinking does come with a lot of experience. But I definitely think that we're already seeing some big traction on, the numbers since Kathleen came on board for the blog are more than double what they were beforehand. So this theme park idea seems to be working.
Yep. And, I think it's a good idea to think about it in this framework. So I'll put together a PDF that we can link to on this site that helps everyone else think of their blogs in terms of the theme park, because I think it'll really help you build your content strategy.
Yeah, there's 2 other parts of the theme park we got to mention before we go, but they're really both not as important as the idea of parades, fireworks, and rides. And gift shops. Those are really the main things. But we also have little stands around the park, right? These little things, like when you're at Disney and you see the characters signing autographs, right? Those are those little tiny things. We have a bunch of those. On Monday, we have just something we thought was funny. On the weekend, we have Doug's Trivia. We have coupons. We have these little hit things that are just, they're going to divert some people. Some people will really like them. Other people will ignore them. But if somebody's bored, it's just one more thing going on at the park to create this carnival atmosphere that makes people come back. Yep. So that's big. And then your biggest fans, they want more from you. So for those people, that's where the idea of the resort comes in, which when I look at the resort, I look at more behind the scenes type stuff. I also look at that'd be like your Facebook page where you can share more ideas, or it's even your newsletter. Really, your newsletter is more the resort.
Yep.
So good stuff. I like the idea of the PDF. We definitely need that, and I'm glad you're doing it, not me.
Yeah, me too. So will everyone else.
So one of us is better than design at the other one.
It's true. It's okay.
All right, so that's going to do that. Head to, for notes about everything we talked about, head to forprofitblogging.com and, check out other sites where we're actually implementing this stuff. Stacking Benjamins, Frugal Portland, the Free Financial Advisor. Those are the sites that we're working on all the time. Those are our experimental zones, Kathleen.
Yep.
All right, we'll see everybody next Monday with more.
Thanks, Joe.